Well, 2/3 round the Mae Hon Son Loop. Been absolutely fantastic. I've been blessed with good weather. Quite twisty on the first part from Chiang Mai to Pai, and the turns are very tight, and you're going up those steep switchback ones, you know, where the road on the inside of the apex is really steep. On this bit from Mae Hon Son south, it's much more flowy and going through the jungles. It's been absolutely idyllic. In fact, I've sort of been I was trying to think, it's a sort of state of euphoria. I think you only get it from doing this. I can't think of anything else that you could do. You certainly wouldn't get it from driving in a car. And this bike has been great. Okay, it's not designed to go around twisties, 21-inch front wheel and 18 back. You know, it's proper adventure bike spec, typical adventure bike spec. Horsepower is more than enough. And I haven't even pushed it, you know, the speed. I can't say that I've done a lot of off-road. The roads are superb. There's the odd pothole, but far less than you're going to get on the A27 in England. And very, very little traffic. Okay, there's a little bit here because I'm now in one of the towns, and I just went to this very nice coffee shop just after about an hour and a half of riding, 2 hours of riding. It does look like a 2025 or 24 model. So everything's in good nick. So when you do anywhere in the world, I suppose, particularly in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of people renting out motorcycles of various quality and size and dimension and so forth. What you need to do is just make sure you video everything, because one of the ways they make their money is not the daily rental, but charging you money for, you know, oh, that scratch, that wasn't there before. So you just got to document the whole bike with photographs and video. Just check the brakes on whatever bike you get. Check the tire pressure. Make sure that the tires are good. If the tires are no good and you do something like this, particularly if it starts raining, you're causing yourself trouble. So those are the three things I would suggest you do. Beautiful. With juicy speedy. Can you imagine on a nice racing bike? You wouldn't have any knee pads left, would you? I'm in shorts, so I'll try and avoid that. Startup sequence on the instrument panel. I find this quite difficult to see in the sunlight, and particularly with my sunglasses on, which is how I ride. Essentially, it revs around the outside. Fuel gauge is not... Is it nice? I don't know, because it's got a circular design. I suppose they have to make the fuel gauge circular, so it's showing just over 3/4 of fuel. And I've already been down to no fuel, and this turns red or orange. You can connect this, I understand, to the Royal Enfield app and then link it to whatever map you're using. The only problem is the colours are very faint in the sunlight, but not too bad. At least it's in a center position. Like many people, I don't like the instrument panel being offset. I think it's something to do with aesthetics and symmetry. There's a sort of balance to it, and if something's sort of offset, it doesn't quite look right to me. Going back, the seat, really uncomfortable. Quite possibly the most uncomfortable seat. I cannot understand why, because it looks good. Maybe if you just left it like this, an aftermarket sheepskin might be good enough if you're doing long distance on it. If it was my bike, I'd have to just raise, put some bar raisers on, just give it maybe 2 centimeters up, because the foot pegs are quite high. The rubbers are in. I presume you can take the rubbers out, or I'd just replace them with something a bit wider so that you've got more leverage off if you want to go off-road. The exhaust system, it's sort of ugly, isn't it? All the magic's been done in this box here, isn't it? And this is just a little stubby exhaust. It's not too bad. The one on the 411 is particularly ugly, but it's sort of agricultural, and I've sort of grown to like it. And I don't see any point changing it to something else. Tires, yeah, they all come with these Seat tires. I can't say anything bad about them. Oh yes, the other thing, when the lights are on, the back lights, there's no rear light. If you can see, it's just the surround of the indicators is red. I presume they're on. Let's just put the indicator on and see what it looks like. Oh, I see. Yeah, so it stays red with a flashing orange strip in the middle. No real thoughts about that. It's quite a good idea. Anything to reduce the size of these things, I think, is good. Better turn it off. What's the front like? The headlight. Well, I haven't used it at night, but it looks nice. The suspension, it's by Showa, and this suspension I think is excellent. I think there are 2 things that are really good on here. Mechanical things. The brakes are good. I think they are. There's just 1 disc, but it's good enough for this size of bike. Don't know what the size is at the back, but what I really like is this big chunky brake pedal. I like that. How it copes if you drop it, I don't know, but it looks that kind of thing that you can bend in and out a few times before it snaps off if you have to. The gear change is silky smooth. Six gears, whereas the 411 has 5, which they're a little bit spread out. The ratio's a bit because there's 5, and I feel it's missing the top end I'm talking about the 411 for going on the motorway. It just seems to be revving too much. Whereas the 6th gear is excellent. But you do have to work, at my weight, nearly 100 kilograms or 95 or whatever I am. I do have to work the gears. You can't pull away in 4th at any sort of normal speed. And you've got to change out of 1st really quickly. But that's okay. I mean, this route, this Mae Hon Son route is particularly twisty and up and down, and you do have to work a bit on the gears, but it's enjoyable more than anything else. I can't say that's something I would mark down on the bike. And everything else is fine. Just the only 2 things I don't like is the seat is uncomfortable. And for me, at my height, 6 foot, I'm struggling to be comfortable on the pegs. Not that I really need to be on the pegs. The only reason I've been on the pegs is because my arse is so sore. And I'm used to standing up a lot. I go stand up, sit down all the time because I just got used to doing it. But all together, I'm enjoying it. Now, would I have this bike or my 411? I think I will still stick with my 411. It's because my 411 is something else. It's unique. They're not going to make a bike like that again. Obviously, this is an advancement. It's got more power, 40 brake horsepower, whereas that's only 24 and a half. The 6 gears versus the 5. The suspension is superb on this. It's better than the 411. But the 411 just has that joyful simplicity about it that I've spoken again. It's just something about it. I think it looks nicer as well. It's got that sort of old school Land Rover look about it, something like that. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Whereas this looks more refined, but it's not as beautiful as, to my mind, as a CF Moto 450 MT. And it's not as beautiful as a 350 Classic or the BSA, or indeed that new BSA Scrambler. It's not as good looking. There's something about the lines, something about the curves, something about this tank, something about this, the little stubby exhaust. It's okay, it's not great. I always think radiators spoil the look of a bike, but of course it's water cooled, so it needs one. And of course the 411 is air cooled, which is, I like. So overall, I prefer my 411, I think. Although I do appreciate this has more power and a little bit more speed. Okay, Chronicles of Solid. He bought this bike and he was going through, really trying to decide whether to have this or this CF Moto 450. And he chose this, and you can watch his video and see why he chose it. And those are all valid reasons. I would definitely have the CF Moto 450 because it fills a gap because I have other bikes. Nothing, there's no bike on this planet that's going to beat the 1190 Adventure R. Even the 1290 Adventure R is inferior to the 1190 just because of the engine. Then you've got 690 Enduro KTM, and you've got the other adventure bikes, the 890, 790 KTMs. You've got some more expensive bikes like the Desert X Ducati, which looks nice, but it's also heavy. This is heavy. I feel this bike's heavy. I feel the 411 doesn't feel as heavy as this. I don't know what the difference in weight between this and the 411 is, but this just feels heavier. Is it because it's got the water cooling? Possibly. And the center of gravity a little bit higher on this bike. Yes, that might be why. But anyway, and as I said, if in this mid-sized engine adventure bike space, I would go for the CF Moto, I think. It just looks more enduro-like. If you're going down the Royal Enfield route, I think I would go for a Bear or a Gorilla. I don't know. Bear, I think. A Bear, yeah. I think I'd go for a Bear. If I was going to get a Scrambler, I think I'd go for the Triumph one rather than the BSA and rather than the Ducati. The 900 Scrambler is a good bike. Round the world, would this be a good round the world bike? I think it would. I think it's easy to work on. I think you can strap quite a lot of luggage on. You can get that lone rider rackless system on here, which is more than you need. If you carry any more shit than that around the world, then you're making a mistake. You've got to reduce it right down. You've got to think that you're going to be yomping in the Brecon Beacons with your rucksack. That's how disciplined you have to be on weight. Reduce the weight right down. Where I am. Doggy. Hello, doggy. Hello. Thank you very much.
Sunset and sunrise tomorrow.
The sunrise. Okay. So I can sit on the...
Yeah, if you want to bring your bike, you go that way and then...
Okay, I think I will. I think I'll bring the bike up to here. Be very nice. There's a sunrise on this side, eh?
Yeah.
This is mine. B2. Thank you so much. What is your name?
Da.
Da.
Yes,
So Rupert.
Okay,
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, this is lovely.
The second floor, the sitting room.
A sitting room on the second floor. What a treat. Very exciting. Very exciting. Great. Okay.
Have a nice day with
I tell you what, you don't have any beer, do you?
We have. Why?
Oh, yes.
Maybe after you can enjoy the beer and swim.
I think I'll have a swim and a beer and read my book. It'll be perfect. Let me bring my bike down, and then I'll put my bike. Hello, doggy. Doggy. What's your name? What's your name, doggy?
Mudeng.
Mudeng. Good. He's not so sure about me. But I went down south. I went the wrong way. I should have turned left. And then I went all the way down to Mae
Sariang.
And then not much there to see. And then when I was there, I looked for somewhere to stay. I thought, oh, I can see this place. It looks nice. Have you got any other guests?
We have one room on that side and 2 rooms on this side. Total is 3 rooms only. It's a very
Only 3 rooms. I'm very lucky. Same way down, yeah?
Yes, same way
Okay.
down.
Shainu. Perfect. So, there's a little bed up here, a little sitting area. Very nice with a mozzie in. Everything you want. Is there a mozzie net here? Yes. I love mozzie nets. I think they're the best way not to get bitten by mozzie. This has been a superb place. Up in the mountain tops. This murky pool is actually river water, so it comes through and goes out again. You can see it over there. Quite a lot of rain. Not as much as Fanny's been having in Hong Kong. The black rainstorm warning's been on for days. Royal Enfield, fantastic yesterday on these hilly roads, but it's going to be slippy as anything. So I'm just giving it a couple of hours. I looked at the weather forecast and it clears up from about 2:30 to 6, which is enough time for me to ride over the top of those mountains to get back to Chiang Mai. So I'm returning the bike. I'm near the end of, not far off the end of the loop, although this bit into the sort of center of the loop, if so to speak. It's been really, really nice. Lovely, lovely place. Not very expensive. It started raining again. You see the rain coming up the valley. It's just these type of roads, you saw how they are in the dry, in the wet with limited visibility, and I've forgotten to bring some clear glasses. It's very atmospheric up here. The other alternative is I cancel my booking in Chiang Mai, stay here one night, and then leave at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. That is an option. You've got to have your plans. You've got to have your options. Anyway, until then, coffee and a book, and maybe in an hour's time, I will have some Thai food. Lovely breakfast here. Honestly, this is 15 quid a night. It's a sort of hut on a hillside. It's got a bar, we've got food, really nice people. Yeah. I should have left very early this morning before the rain started, and now the rain is heavy and I am in the worst roads. They're quite challenging in the dry and in the wet with poor visibility and extremely slippy mountain roads. The forecast is for it to stop raining, at least stop raining by 2:30, 3. That gives me 3 hours to get to Chiang Mai. The alternative, I suppose, is I could book here again for a night. It's only 15 quid a night, including breakfast, and it's a fantastic place. But then it means I really do have to get up very early to get back to Chiang Mai before the rain starts at midday. And I've got to return the bike. One of the things which is causing me a little bit of concern is yesterday afternoon I got a bad sting. It was very, very painful sting. And I can't really see, I think it's there. And then since, my leg has swollen up all the way down to my shin and up to halfway up my thigh, and my knee joints and all the ligaments have completely tightened up. I've got some antihistamine in my bag, and some antiseptic lotion, my sort of very basic first aid kit. But I think I really should go and see someone, because you never know. And Thais will know what it is. Probably need something. I don't know whether it needs something to take down the swelling. I took some ibuprofen. Adventure bike riding. A lot of rain. Dangerous curves. Slippy, slippy. Hello.
Hello, ticket ordering it?
Hello.
Ticket,
Huh?
ticket.
Ticket to go through
Where you going?
to Chiang Mai.
Oh, no. I ticket.
Yeah, just go to Chiang Mai. Okay. Thank you, guys. Want some sun weather? Well, it would be nice. I'm fucking freezing. I'm very cold. It's in town.
Need a reverse gear. 倒车请注意，倒车请注意。Have. Yes, I do. Yes. Even better.
So a sad moment to return the Himalayan 450. Looks like it's been through the rain. I had a glorious time around the Mae Hon Son Loop. I did a diversion up into the mountains, stayed in a hilltop hut. Last day was the only day it rained, and it's raining today. Well, but the last day riding. And I was up in the mountains. It was misty and cold and wet, and the bike was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to do a review about the bike, but I'm actually quite sad to say goodbye to it. It's far better than I expected it to be, and I'll go into a sort of more detailed review of why that is later. I think this is definitely the sort of bike, and a bike that's on a budget, that you could go around the world on. I think it can tackle everything. It goes fast enough. It's powerful enough. It's reliable enough. You can pack everything you need for a month to a year. Tires, yeah, you just change the tires. If you're going to go sand, put some knobblies on. And these road tires that it comes with, the Seat, are perfectly fine for nearly everything, apart from deep sand, I'd say. But it's been a superb bike, and this place, Pop
big bike rental has got a lot of bikes, hell of a lot of bikes, a lot of Royal Enfields. It's got the 400s. It's got the these 500s would actually be a very good bike for the Mae Hon Son Loop, actually, because it's very, very twisty. And of course, this bike is not with a 21 front wheel is not ideal for the 4,000 twists and turns and up and down and everything. But I'm used to a 21-inch front on my 1190 and my KLR and 690 and everything's riding around the world in 990. What are the strong points? The engine. The suspension is superb, absolutely superb. Really, really surprised at how good the suspension is. It's top end. It's fuel economy, absolutely superb. Quite surprised. Reliability, it just starts all the time. It just starts all the time. What are the only negative niggles, I would say? It's the seat. It's okay for 50 kilometers and then it gets a bit painful. I've been on other seats. I don't know why. Looking at it, it looks as if it'll be fantastic. Maybe a sheepskin or one of those seat covers might do it. Or just, there might be an aftermarket, more, tubular, like I have on my 411. My 411 seat is fine. It's not the most comfortable either, but it's a lot more comfortable than this one. But overall, it's been a fantastic bike. I've got to say sad farewell to Himi. What a good bike.